which will take place in Tirana on the 25th of May. What an exciting and unpredictable competition it has been up to this point, especially over the last week with the knockout round playoffs as we witnessed spectacular action from teams from all around Europe. We had a great night in Arnhem, for example, as Vitesse overcame a 1-0 loss in the first leg and on home soil punched their ticket to the last 16. We also saw a thrilling conclusion to the PAOK Midtjylland tie. The Greek outfit eventually prevailed in a penalty shootout. 2017 UEFA Champions League quarter-finalist Leicester City showed why they are one of the teams to beat by overcoming Randers. Marseille and Slavia Prague also had few problems in finding the back of the net after they overcame Qarabag and Fenerbahce respectively in high-scoring encounters. 2 early goals from Partizan Belgrade were enough to secure their first round of 16 appearance in European competition since 2004-2005, while PSV Eindhoven only needed a draw last night to advance, and they did just that in Tel Aviv. Bodo Glimt are through and continue their longest European campaign thanks to an excellent 5-1 aggregate win against Celtic. Now, as you can see by reeling off all these results, you can see how great the competition has been so far. What can we expect? Let's have a look at the clubs that are taking part in the draw today. The road to Tirana continues. Time to invite on stage the man who will be leading us through the draw proceedings, and that is, of course, as always, the UEFA Deputy General Secretary, Giorgio Marchetti.
Thank you, Pedro. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In these very dark and tough days for Europe, let me first express heartfelt solidarity to the Ukrainian populations who are experiencing the atrocity of war. And let me say that football wants only one thing: peace. Peace now. We are delighted to welcome you to today's UEFA Europa Conference League draw ceremony in Lyon. First, congratulations to the 16 clubs for making it to this round. This was not an easy task, and it is something you should all be very proud of. Had it not been for the inception of the UEFA Europa Conference League from the start of this season, European football for some of these 16 clubs might have ended in late December. However, all the teams at this stage can still dream of lifting this new piece of silverware in Tirana in May. This is exactly why the competition was introduced, to give more clubs from across our continent the chance to test themselves against top European teams. Just 3 clubs in today's draw have witnessed the magic firsthand of what it is like to lift a European club competition trophy, and who knows, in a few months' time, perhaps a new team will be able to join this illustrious group and create a moment of history for their fans. There is a fantastic mix of clubs in today's draw, who represent an impressive 12 of our member associations. While the likes of Feyenoord, AS Roma and Marseille are seasoned European campaigners, it is great to see the likes of Bodo, Glimt, Partizan and LASK start to stamp their authority in the latter stages of our club competitions and further their European campaigns. Usually we celebrate goals and fantastic technical displays. Today, however, there is something else, if possible even more valuable, that I wish to praise. The outstanding gesture of sportsmanship and fair play of Karabakh, who helped the referee disallow their own invalid goal. Well done, gentlemen. Your performance in the competition was excellent. Your fair play earned you an even bigger round of applause and a lot of respect from everyone. Albania will have the opportunity to host its first ever UEFA Men's Club competition final in May. And with that in mind, we have a former player here to assist us who has a special connection with the city of Tirana.
And I am now delighted to welcome onto the stage our special guest for today's draw, a Tirana native and former captain of the Albanian national team, Altin Lala. And here he is already. How are you?
Fine.
Great to see you. Thank you for joining us for today's draw. I have to ask you how excited you think the people of Tirana and Albania overall is to host a club competition final for the first time.
Yeah, it is very good. It is the most important event ever for us, and we are happy, all the Albanian people, and we can to begin this final in Tirana.
Yeah. I know you follow football closely still, and you've been following the competition. What has stood out to you so far? What's impressed you so far in the competition?
Yeah, is it important for the other clubs to have the chance to win the Conference League, and I think it's a fair chance also for the small clubs, maybe.
Yeah, a new competition, more opportunity for European football for all clubs across the continent. Final question, is there any team that's impressed you the most so far?
I think we have great teams inside, and I think AS Roma or Marseille or also Leicester City, maybe one from them going in Tirana. I hope so.
Okay, let's see. We will find out who those teams will be facing, and all the teams will be facing today over the next few minutes. And obviously leading the draw proceedings is Giorgio. Back to you.
Thank you, Pedro. And before we start the draw procedure, I will invite now my colleague Michael Herzensveld, head of UEFA Club Competitions, onto the stage to assist with the draw and also to explain briefly our technical procedure.
Thank you, Giorgio, and good afternoon. For today's draw, the group winners will be drawn against the winners of the knockout round playoffs. Please note that clubs from the same association cannot be drawn against each other. Also, the winners of the knockout round playoffs play the first leg at home. Each of the 8 pairings will be determined by drawing one of the winners of the knockout round playoffs first, then one of the eligible group winners. The 8 balls containing the names of the knockout round playoff winners are already placed in one ball in front of Giorgio, while the balls containing the names of their potential opponents are picked from the 8 different group winner pots just in front of me. After drawing each knockout round playoff winners, the balls containing the eligible group winners will be placed into the other ball every time. Should we have only one team eligible to be drawn against a particular knockout round playoff winners, there will be no draw and the 2 teams will be paired directly. This procedure is then repeated for all the 8 pairings. The round of 16 matches are scheduled to be played on the 10th of March for the first leg matches and the 17th of March for the return legs. After the draw and in accordance with the competition regulations, the UEFA administration will determine the final fixture list. The result will be announced later this afternoon. So that's all from the technical side. Let me hand the floor back to Giorgio to begin with the draw.
Thank you, Michael. Before we begin with the draw, that's what you want to see, let's just remind ourselves of who are the clubs in this draw, and we start with the list of the winners of the knockout playoffs, where we have FK Bodo Glimt, Leicester City, Olympique de Marseille, FK Partizan, PAOK FC, PSV Eindhoven, SK Slavia Prague, and Vitesse. The group winners are AZ Alkmaar, FC Basel, FC Copenhagen, Feyenoord, KA Gent, LASK, AS Roma, and Stade Rennais FC. Everything is now ready. I will open the draw. I will draw a winner of the playoffs, and every time then we'll pass the ball to our friend Altin to complete each pairing with the name of the group winners facing the other team. And the first team drawn for today is Olympique de Marseille. So Olympique de Marseille can play against all the opponents except one, which is Stade Rennais, because in this round country clashes are not allowed. So let's see which team will face now Olympique. And Olympique de Marseille, of course, is a prestigious European club, having won the first ever edition of the UEFA Champions League back in 1993.
FC Basel.
FC Basel, so the Swiss side of Basel visiting Marseille in the first leg of the round of 16. Basel will try to progress again to the quarter-finals of the Europa League as they did in 2020. Second pairing starts with Leicester City. So, no particular condition for Leicester, so we have 7 group winners and 7 potential opponents that will be in the pot for the draw of Leicester City, who were quarter-finalists in the UEFA Champions League in 2017. Nearly ready to learn the opponents of Leicester.
Rennes.
Stade Rennais. So Leicester City will face Stade Rennais in the round of 16. Back to the round of 16 of the UEFA Club competition after 2018-2019. Stade Rennais. And the next pairing will see PAOK FC as the host team of the first leg. All the 6 group winners are possible for PAOK. No special condition in this draw. So we are waiting now to see which one of the 6 will have to face them to travel to Greece. For PAOK, who is coming back to the UEFA knockout phase since the 2016 and 2017 season.
Ghent.
Ghent, so PAOK versus KA Ghent. quarter-finalist of the UEFA Cup in 1992. And now we have Vitesse from the Netherlands. Vitesse can face all teams, but not the two Dutch teams. So Alkmaar and Feyenoord cannot be paired with Vitesse. We have only 3 options possible for this club. We have already played 12 matches in the season, having started in the qualifying rounds. The most matches played by this club in any single season of their club's history.
AS Roma.
And Vitesse will face AS Roma. AS Roma, Vitesse Roma. Roma were the top scorers of the group phase of the UEFA Europa Conference League. 18 goals were scored in 6 matches by Roma. Now again from the Netherlands, PSV Eindhoven. For Eindhoven, of course, we have the same situation as we had for Vitesse. No clubs from the Netherlands, so only 2 options are possible for this club. And the 2 options are FC Copenhagen or LASK. Eindhoven are former winners of the UEFA Cup that they lifted in 1978.
FC Copenhagen.
FC Copenhagen will travel to Eindhoven for the first leg of the round of 16. Great scorers also Copenhagen. They were the second after Roma in the group phase with their 15 goals scored. And now SK Slavia Prague. Everything is possible for Slavia. 3 opponents are left, and the 3 opponents can be drawn against them. They've been 2 out of the last 3 seasons. Slavia Prague managed to qualify to the quarterfinals. So let's see who they will have to overcome now if they want to do it for the 3rd time.
LASK.
And that will be LASK. So Slavia Prague facing LASK in the round of 16. So LASK, the strong side was the defensive system. So only 1 goal was conceded by the club in 6 matches, and they made the most points in the group phase with 16. And now FK Bodo Glimt from Norway. Both opponents are possible for Bodo Glimt, that have already played from the start of the season 16 matches in their European campaign. It's the longest campaign for Bodo Glimt in their history. And they were unbeaten in the group stage, so good performance.
AZ Alkmaar.
AZ Alkmaar are the opponents of Bodo, and only 1 club or team is left in this spot. That is FK Partizan Belgrade. So Partizan, finalists of the European Champions Cup in 1966.
Feyenoord.
And finally, we have Feyenoord. So the last and conclusive pairing of this round of 16 is Partizan versus Feyenoord. Pedro, it's back to you.
Thank you. All 16 teams have been drawn. Let's have a look at the lineup for the next round of the UEFA Europa Conference League. We have some great matches to look forward to. Olympique Marseille taking on FC Basel. Leicester City playing Stade Rennais. PAOK will be facing Ghent. It'll be Vitesse versus AS Roma. PSV Eindhoven taking on Copenhagen. Slavia Prague facing LASK. Bodo Glimt against AZ Alkmaar. Partizan will be taking on Feyenoord. The first legs of these ties will be taking place on the 10th of March, with the return legs scheduled for the 17th, so a week later. That'll do it from all of us here at the House of European Football. We would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone still in the competition the best of luck for their upcoming matches. From Altin, Giorgio, Michael and myself, it's goodbye from Lyon. See you again very soon.